All right, so my miter saw was slightly out of square, ever so slightly, like a 64th off of a, 8 to 10 inch board. But all the same, have to square it up. So I thought I'd do a real quick video on how to get it square. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this is really simple. Only a couple steps. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove these wings that just simply slide out. There's a little nut behind here that will release it so we can slide it all the way out. Then, because I already have this zero clearance insert directly in the saw, I know exactly where the blade is going to come down. So the very next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a square and referencing off of this line. Okay, so I'm just going to simply take the square, hold it up flush right against, take the square, hold it flush right against the back fence tightly. And then I'm going to make sure that right in the back, we're right on the line of where the saw kerf is. And then on the front, I'm going to make sure we're right on the line. Now, it is ever so slightly off, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to loosen those two bolts, barely loosen them. I want this to not move hardly at all. I want it to still be snug. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen those two. Going to get it in line so that that line is perfect, which is right about there. And right about there. So now that I have the perfect line there, I'm going to go ahead and loosen that, make sure it's all lined up, tighten the bolts back down, and once I've done that, I will bring the second fence on the right side parallel to the fence on the left. So here I'm just double checking to make sure that it was right on the cut line on the insert. The laser is only straight for the first 4 inches or so, so it's a little deceiving when you're looking at it. So this does take a little fiddling around with sometimes. Sometimes you don't get it 100% right on the first shot, but that seems pretty good right there. So I'm going to go ahead and line up the second fence now with the first fence. So to line up the secondary fence, the easiest thing to do is get a level or some other sort of straight edge. First, we're gonna press it right up against here, and moving it this way, I can see that there's a gap over there already. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the other fence, and then we'll put this level on here like so. And when I do this, I'm going to actually now clamp this so we're nice and firm against the fence that we know we like the alignment. Okay. So now we're nice and tight right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and unbolt this side so I have some movement. Put a clamp on here to snug it up and tighten everything back down. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and tighten it back down. Take a quick look at how this looks. Alright, so I'll snug up those bolts and then we'll take a test cut and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and throw the
the fins back on, just because if we don't have it, it takes 2 seconds to take them back off again. And now I'm going to go ahead and make a test cut. Okay, so I grabbed a relatively wide board to make that test cut because since the saw was off by such a small amount, you wouldn't even notice it on a board that was only like 4 inches. So let's go ahead and see how close we are here. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's absolutely no light coming through there at all. So I think we got it pretty much as perfect as it's going to get. So that's it. That's all it takes to adjust your miter saw to perfectly square. As you can see, it's only about a 2-minute job. Sometimes it is a little finicky. Sometimes you do have to do it a couple of times to get it just right. But having that zero clearance insert makes the job super, super quick and easy. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.